Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and we are down here once again in the crypts beneath Castle Ravenloft. In our last episode, we did some work on the stairs that ascended the towers of the castle, but what we did not get to was the stairs that plunged into the depths below. Now, there's this big air shaft that goes all the way from the crypts to the top of the highest tower, and around it is supposed to wrap a spiral staircase, which, for the most part, it does. There is one of those. But I only really built it upward, and when I was doing that, it was kind of partially because the cylinder that the tower is built out of, like I started at ground level and then just built this cylinder upward the whole way. And I'm realizing as I go that maybe that doesn't work in all cases because this cylinder needs to continue downward too. And I haven't figured out exactly what that looks like. To some degree, I think it looks like me mining downward like a good distance. Oh, like exactly that distance, apparently. But what else does that look like? Do I have to... should I scaffold up? Or should I dig from the top to the bottom? I don't know. Kind of a interesting puzzle. Another element is that there's actually supposed to be kind of a this is a similar problem. In the tomb of Queen Ravenovia and the king, who is Count Strahd's father, whoops, oh yeah, I forgot there's also a tunnel here that I just stumbled onto this and then never lit it, because it's always full of monsters. But you know what? No time like the present to just come in here and just stab monsters with a sword. You know, that's what people do when they go in crypts. They stab monsters. And I'm a people, or so I like to tell us. Let's go ahead and, wow. This is a bigger room. Can you reach me? I don't think you can. Thank you for daring to dream, Creeper. Thank you. Okay, so this is apparently a larger area than I might have thought it was going to be. But regardless, my point is not that I need to light up this entire cave. My point is that there's actually supposed to be, like, ooh, that is an interesting set of problems right there. Huh. It did not occur to me that this would be extensive in this direction as well. How many monsters are down here, would you say? I feel like I can maybe take this out. I don't want the creeper to actually break the stuff I've been building on top of it. Dang it. This is like... okay, boom, there we go. Now I got him. Okay, so we're just going to run in here and light underneath this part. Okay. Number of blocks I have out. 0. Oh, I had a bow and arrow this whole time. Apparently. So, let's run back under here. Add a little bit more light. There we go. So, anyway. The point in actually coming down here was to express that there's supposed to be windows in this tomb. And it's supposed to be built, like, deep into the pillar stone of Ravenloft. But that Ravenloft, like, is actually, like, way high up. It's like 1,000 feet in the air. So really, these blocks right here should be glass. And there should be some sort of view out the window that should be hard to see. So, we are at 891, negative 1033 down here. So what we're going to do is we are going to go topside. Actually, I'll leave these coordinates up. We'll go topside to the same coordinates and dig straight down. So we can kind of figure out like how we want to do this. Because in theory, if you were really skilled or you had the ability to fly, you could break in or out of the crypt by shattering those glass windows and then climbing or scrabbling or getting up the top of the pillar stone here. How's the best way to get out of here? Dang it. So fun thing about building a murder maze castle is that, you know, you get lost in your own murder maze castle. And then who do you have to blame? The least fun person to blame, yourself. Okay, so can I ender pearl out of here and not end up in a stupid situation? Let's discover the truth. We can. Okay. So, heading to 891, negative 1033. That should be ostensibly aligned with this overhang right here. Or at least close to it. Regretting not having more torches with me now. So how should I block this off somehow so I know how to find it again? I'm at negative 1032 as well. Dang it, I liked being able to see. Okay, so now we're inside of here, which is not like a real space. But, okay, so the core concept, though, is that from there, if I go straight down, it'll eventually take me to a place. Oh, you know what would have been smart would have been checking my elevation down there. But you know what? I don't need to check my elevation because I already knocked out those blocks, right? That should just allow me to accomplish this. Whoa. Precisely as I intended. Okay. Good job, me. So then, I guess what I would do is just climb up higher and knock out more of this. But in short, I'm going to need to kind of, I think, create either a trench or some sort of diorama here. Like, having the ability to ender pearl or whatever, straight up or down here would probably be helpful. I don't know. These sorts of vertical challenges in construction, let's go ahead and plug this hole to some degree. Oh, stuff could spawn there. Man, every part of this torch-wise is a bad idea. I think I need to go get more light. But anyway, the challenges of creating such a vertical structure become only apparent as you actually construct the structure. The constructure has emergent structural details. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get some torches and figure out more of these stairs and everything. Time skip. Whoa, that was bad way to time skip. So in light of all this digging that I have to do, I started thinking, like, how can I simplify things? One possibility that jumped out at me was, well, if I just mine out this part of the floor here, I'll know exactly where I need to dig straight down. And that made sense to a point, and then I realized, oh, this cylinder here actually isn't even enclosed. Much like our other adjacent spiral stairwells, this was not really, figured out to be charitable. And so I'm going to figure this out now. This is part of why we build models, so that we can figure things out and so we can learn. And I'm doing a lot of both, ostensibly. So let's go ahead and keep ostensibly making progress. I think it gets pretty simple, though, once I do take care of this part, because basically here, all I'm doing is bringing the cylinder down a few blocks, and then I'll just start digging straight down, like for this whole area. Right, that should... Oh, hey, yeah, see, this is already working. Now, this part here probably should be blocked up, too, in the long term. That's a really terrible, creeper spawn opportunity. But yeah, okay. So we can just kind of mine downward here. And what do we hit? Uh-oh. Oh, the back wall of this was never actually enclosed with andesite. It looks like I just kind of went straight into the dirt there on that side. So we'll need to refine that as well. Okay. See, this is where the ghost of past laziness Joe starts really causing trouble for modern-day Joe. Also known as Joe Deluxe? No. What would you call... I don't know. Anyway, past Joe did not do present Joe any favors here, it looks like. So, we can just go ahead and keep on mining downward, broadly trying to figure out roughly where this goes. So, I have a feeling I'm going to want these to be like this, and then... kind of this. I'd love to shuffle this problem off on future Joe. Future Joe, who is not me yet. But, realistically... for these stairs to function the way they're supposed to function in the game, I've just got to get this built out. There's no ability to continue just not doing it. Okay, so this is interesting. Now that we're actually down here, it occurs to me that what I should probably do is reestablish this stairwell as best as I can. Or not stairwell, reestablish this platform. to avoid confusion and falls to my death and things. So we're going to go ahead and get all these back here where they went. Let's get some of these torches where they belong as well. Okay, so that one's there where it goes. Okay, so this is actually supposed to be here, a stairwell piece. Luckily, I've got the two of those that I'm supposed to. Okay, so then when I come around to here, I can easily see the part I'm supposed to be hidden. So, let's go ahead then, and now we'll use our ladder well to punch back into here. Pretty simple, because it doesn't have to be elaborate. I feel like this might be a little wide here on this bit, but maybe not. Maybe that's just the way this is. Well, either way, we can go ahead and just keep mining out what we got. Time skip. Do my eyes deceive me? Is there something to the right of the air shaft here? My goodness, what could it be? Perhaps it's a terrifyingly uneven stairwell that would strike fear into the heart of anyone breaking into a vampire's castle, you know, which is about the best I was expecting to be able to do. You know, that took about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. It's funny, because it's like one of these things where it's like, oh, this is so intimidating to get this exactly right, because there's math and cylinders and geometry involved. But then you just start doing it, and I'm like, oh, this is really relaxing. This is why I play video games. This is nice, you know? Sometimes with tasks, you just gotta get your mind to it and get started, and boom, here we are in the tomb. Now, of course, not everything is done that we're hoping to get done, but, you know, that's why we got the rest of the episode. Time skip. Having excavated down to where the windows of the tomb were, I realized maybe before I, like, wiped out this entire cliffside under here, you know, overlooking the sea, I should determine, like, how high overlooking the sea the crypt actually is, and bad news, it's actually underwater. So even if I wiped out that entire, like, you know, thing, it would still be, like, way lower than it needs to be. So I'm thinking cliff removal might not be the highest priority here. We should probably build some sort of diorama you can see through the windows, and have some sort of secret back door for if the players in the game want to try to climb down to the window, we can describe it, but, you know, they're going to have to really, I don't think a lot of people use that as a travel route in the game. Now, as we look at our chapel here, though, I was thinking about this, and I realized on the map that there's some buttresses that I have not actually constructed, facing the back of the chapel. So that's actually one of the reasons that it was so important that this, oh, maybe not. I was going to say, it was so important that I get these windows right, but I'm worried now that these buttresses might work funny, because there's clearly supposed to be one kind of out here. Whoops. Dang it, Torch, you're already torturing me. And, like, out here. That might be even too far. They maybe just like this. But then there's supposed to be one in the middle of this, and that's going to have a symmetry problem. Same as the sort of symmetry problem we were having in other parts of the castle. So maybe I just do 2 of the buttresses here. Now, there's going to be another 2 buttresses on either side when we come all the way over to here, and these are intended to be diagonal. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to sell the concept of support if they're diagonal like this, without actually, like, bracing against the stone directly. But, you know, it's kind of hard to do it without blocking the windows. Like, if we just put it here, it doesn't really sell diagonal either. And when I look at the artist's depiction of the castle in the original map work, it's pretty clear that these buttresses down on this part here are pretty short. They're not, like, gigantic buttresses. They just kind of go up to a little bit below the height of the window, actually. So, you know, these are pretty easy to do. Not a huge architectural problem, other than the fact that they look a little silly. But, you know what, maybe that's okay. Or maybe it's not. Maybe we need to remove them. Ugh. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe what we do is we remove the buttresses on the diagonals here. We remove the middle buttress that's not going to be symmetrical anyway, because or it's going to be the wrong width from over here. But we keep the buttresses on the outside, like this one, which would come up to about here. And then it should almost meet the dome, shouldn't it? Okay. So we'll go, this one will have come up to, let's just say this height. We can hop over here, add another one. So, you know what, 2 seems a little low for that. And do I have any stairs made out of these? No, of course not. Why would I? This might be one of those cases where having a stair block to segue there might work well. So, 1, 2, and then, you know, a ludicrous amount of, you know, explosives later. At the point where you're using explosives to propel yourself, you know, a short distance, maybe there's something wrong with your plan. This is why traditional architecture involved a lot of scaffolding. Also ladders. Okay, dang it, that one's too high. In this case, though, I'm just breaking my own knees. Okay. So that kind of works. And if I incorporated the same stair blocks into these arches, I think that it would create more of a kind of recurring thematic visual identity that would integrate well. I don't know. I'm just literally throwing words together. Because why not? That's what I do. Joe Hills. Good to meet you. And you know, while we're here, we might as well just kind of clean up some of the rest of this. There's always something with this castle, detail-wise, that I can improve. You know? It is a constant challenge, but a constant joy. So, this tower, however, I think I need to get the buttresses right on. And this one, man, the way they are designed in the map, they are just gigantic. Like, wow. They go out like crazy. And wow, I guess I'm actually going to hit. They come to right below that window there. That's pretty crazy. Man. So they're higher by a good distance than the actual roof of the mansion. So let's say that I did... Maybe I'll make these ones too wide because they're supposed to be gigantic. And then they kind of taper as they approach the top. Wow, I might have underestimated the number of blocks required for this. I'm also realizing when I look at the picture that there is a similar buttress off of this tower that is going to come out at an angle as well. Probably like this. And that will partially kind of block the view from this window, but not too bad. So, yeah, that'll give the whole castle just a little bit more kind of detail as well, which is good. I mean, I'm realizing as I look at these sheer walls, like how kind of, I don't know, repetitive it is. And just these little breaks, adding in the little bit of andesite here has a huge impact. Adding in these additional kind of buttresses, or fins, if you will, around the tower should also kind of break up just the outline at least, especially in the distance. And other things I want to do, now that we've kind of established the baseline of that, is I'm realizing I need to also set up windows like I have down here, up at the second story level, third story level, like basically kind of throughout. And then, oh yeah, crenellation. So this entire wall around here is supposed to be crenellated. I'm still not exactly sure how best to do that without ruining the look and feel of the kind of dripping walls setup I've got. But I do know that I'm going to have to address that sooner or later, because when I look at artwork of this castle, like one of the biggest visual distinctions I see between what I made and what's described here is how cool the walls are. Like how like, my walls are cool in different ways. Like, the detailed crenellation really looks good in a lot of the illustrations I've seen. So, sorry if I'm listing like 100 things I want to do, but there's just, it's such a huge project. I just want to do everything. So let's go ahead and just start here. Incorrect. Incorrect. Wow. Do I have to stand further back? Hey, there we go. Perfect. So, now that we have established all of these, why don't we go ahead and fly back out this way, then fly back this way and see how that looks. Ooh. That is definitely good. I might need to move the ones that are super tied in on the corner over a little bit, but on the whole, those definitely contribute to an ominous, foreboding feeling that you could be shot at any time by like a vampire with a crossbow. You know, which for a vampire castle, you know, that's good. Maybe there's skeletal archers too. It's a mystery, but yeah, that's definitely an improvement there. The only thing I'd probably tweak is just moving these two over just a tiny bit. I feel like if I replaced that with, let's just kind of spitball this like that. And then that would give me more freedom to place that with this. Oh, yeah, I'd also obviously need to knock this out, but yeah, that feels a little better than this. So, okay, we'll do that in both places. As the sun rises behind the castle once more, you know, I'm looking at this crenellation I've put work into here, and I'm pretty happy with how this goes. By using a combination of slabs and stairs here, I don't have to have this lit, which makes all of this bit down here a little bit more ominous, and I think is a general improvement. I decided to put andesite blocks on the corners just as a little accent piece, and also to like alleviate the problem of having the stairs joined to each other by accident, because you know that's always super annoying. And so you know this is one of those things where it'll take a while to do all this, but on the whole it should look good when it's completed. So you know that's nice. Yeah, that definitely feels more castle-y. I'll give it that. Whoa. That was almost a lot worse. Does this door go anywhere? Yay, it does. So, anyway, I'm going to have plenty of this to do. Oh, wow, that actually did kind of come together pretty well. Time skip. Crenellations everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Actually, you should probably not drink these. These are not libations. They are not frustrations. They are exaltations of masonronic. Ironically, masonry is one of those things that there's a lot of in a castle, even though masonry isn't made out of iron. So think about that. I don't know. Anyway, I've got a lot of pieces of stairs and slabs all put in through here, and I think that this is going to look a lot better, especially at night, because I figure I'll light up the corner pieces on each of the guard tower type things, but the long stretches of wall I'll leave unlit. So that should look much more visually interesting. Ooh, I'm probably going to want to knock those 3 torches out there whenever I get to them. And man, those windows are looking even better from up here. They're super subtle, but you know what? That's what makes them work. As I look at this piece, though, wait, am I missing some diorite over there? Apparently, I've just been missing some diorite pieces. Whoa, that's how we fall to our death. I've been missing some diorite pieces right up in that part of the house, or mansion. I didn't even realize it. Well, it just shows that when you look at these things with a fresh eye, sometimes you catch things you didn't before. But anyway, speaking of fresh eyes, I have been working on this episode a lot off camera. Been doing a ton of extra piece putting and building blocks and block building, I don't know. But sooner or later, I just gotta say, you know what? This is enough progress for one episode. So until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.